Hi everybody, welcome to Weekly Shonen Jump 2026 issue number 32. On the cover this week we have Ichi the Witch, and it's all the Magic Keepers. Great. They are really trying to push these guys right now, and look, I get it. I mean, they're a big deal right now. They're like the whole focus of what we're doing, but they just aren't it, man. Like, I look at this and I just see sauceless people. These are just total nothing characters, except Minakata. He's got something going on. I don't know. My opinions really haven't evolved much on the Magic Keepers at all, but my opinion on the arc has evolved at least, and Fujimine, so I'll take it. But the Magic Keepers need a lot of work to get me on board. And throwing them in my face on the cover page of Shonen Jump isn't really making it happen for me personally. Anyway, beyond that this week, the only real piece of news to talk about is the fact that Blue Box is ending next week. Knew it was coming, but man, now that it's a reality, it's just really sinking in that my time with this series is limited now. We don't have much left. We have this chapter and one more, and then we say goodbye to one of my favorite series that ran in this magazine. So let's see how it wraps up. I'm sure it'll be great. Can't wait to see. With that out of the way, I think we're ready to check out this issue. Ichi the Witch, Chapter 89, one-on-one. Really cool color spread here. I love all the finger puppets of the people that Fujimine has like controlled. Really, really cool stuff. I love this one. It looks very nice, really nice colors too. I like the solid red background. I know it's a odd thing to point out with this illustration, but it just looks good. It's really nice. Chapter itself, very funny first half. I love the bits about Destroyerz and Minakata just constantly butting heads is absolutely hilarious. I love this bit so much. It's hilarious. Seeing Destroyerz just like groveling and screaming and crying on the floor like a baby is so funny. I love this. Another really funny like little moment is whenever Goku asks Ichi like, seriously, which one do you see as a mentor? And both of their ears just get huge. That's so funny. This is an amazing bit. I really love this one. And again, it's doing wonders for Minakata. Minakata has been very endeared to me. I do like him a lot, but the other ones need a lot of work, and the work that is done with them in this chapter is not enough. I can see there's an effort to kind of settle them into the cast, but it just, I don't know, it's just not working. They're not sticking. They're not memorable. I just don't care about them. I really don't. Other things to note, just the fact that Ichi calls Descar's family is a very cute moment. I really like that. And the alliance between the Magic Keepers is something. I mean, I saw it coming from 100 miles away. That just had to be where we were going for this arc. I mean, I guess it could have gone either way. It could have gone like alliance or full-on enemies, depending on how the Fujimine encounter went, but it went in favor of an alliance. And that ending is certainly interesting. The fact that Ichi was actually affected by what Fujimine said there, I didn't really pick up on that in the moment. I didn't really think much of it. Like, I mean, I did take note that she said that. It's a very interesting line, but I didn't know that Ichi like took it to heart. That is very interesting. I really don't know what to think of that. Yeah, very good chapter all around. I really enjoyed this one. Someone Hertz, Chapter 40, A Fight with Your Belt. Yeah, it was alright. This one wasn't like too notable, I would say. The eating challenge thing was just, I don't know, it was fine. I don't really have anything to say about it. I guess that was like the bulk of the chapter though. I think the point of this chapter was just to kind of, you know, further establish and lock in the dynamic between our old characters and our new characters, fully cementing them in the cast, and then having the really sweet moment of Mime giving them both, I think, do they both get one? Yeah, they do. They both get a radio, because radio apps, which is what they use, have lag. So having this will give them a more even playing field, which I think is just so sweet of him to do, like giving his rivals an advantage. And it just shows like how non-serious it is. Like, these aren't serious rivals that are really trying to, you know, take each other down. It's just purely friendly. It's all in good fun. They're kind of like cheering each other on. Really sweet. I really enjoy this dynamic that's been created here. And this is coming from somebody who previously said that I wasn't really into the idea of expanding the cast, but this is working, and it's, you know, at a very slow and manageable pace. It's not like we're just throwing a bunch of new characters and having them be major focuses all at once. It's just getting these two in here, making them solidified, and maybe we'll add more from there. Who knows? So far, these are the most consistent side characters to have, you know, been propped up on a pedestal. Like, these two are pretty consistently featured compared to other characters we've met along the way. So I definitely see a more grand future for the two of them. Pretty good chapter. Nothing crazy, but I did like it. One Piece chapter 1187, The Root of the Problem. This is such a surreal chapter. I know I've been talking about this a lot, but it just is so crazy that this is what we're doing right now. We have Luffy fighting Emu. Like, for real, it is happening. But before that, well, I mean, it already happens at the beginning of the chapter, but before it's like properly set up at the end, we have two other fights being set up for our, you know, Wings of the Pirate Kings, or our own Sanji, which is really cool. I don't know why I didn't expect this to happen. This is just, you know, it's normal arc stuff. Yeah, we got our Straw Hat matchups. It's just the three of them this time around, but I mean, that's modern One Piece for you. That's just how it goes. Those three get favoritism and the others just kind of stand and watch. At least they have like the Gunko side quest to deal with. There's that whole thing. So they have something to do. And we're definitely gearing up for Sanji to get Conqueror's Haki here. That is the most obvious thing in the world. It was teased a while back, but it's definitely going to happen here, which will be interesting. I just wonder, like, what will be his drive to be king? Like, he doesn't really have kingly ambitions. I never really thought it possible for him to become, or to gain Conqueror's Haki, because his dream isn't to be like the best at anything, or a ruler or a king of any kind. He just wants to find the all blue. And I guess become a good chef. Maybe like king of chefs, I don't know. Maybe that's his kingly ambition. I really hope it doesn't end up being some kind of joke, like king of women, loving women. No, I really hope it's nothing like that. I could see Oda doing it though, which is why I have a genuine fear of it, and I think it's valid. But we'll see. The main thing to talk about the end of this chapter is just the fact that, yeah, we literally have it spelled out for us. Saint Nerona Emu versus Monkey D. Luffy. Okay. I'll stop talking about the fact that I have no idea what's going to happen because of this, because what the fuck? Like, really? Are we really doing this? I don't know, man. We'll see. This is crazy shit. This is stuff I didn't think we'd see for like another 5 years, but we're right here. I love the moment at the end of just Luffy being like, stop calling me all this dumb shit. I'm Luffy. It's just nice that he has this greater destiny, but he just does not care about it at all. It makes it feel so much better. Like this, you know, fated child shit that shonen manga loves to do. Even though we do it here in One Piece after like 1,000 chapters, I still like that Luffy just doesn't change his attitude at all. He still is Monkey D. Luffy through and through. Even though other people view him differently, he still views himself as the same thing he's always been. And that's all that matters, really. Really good chapter. Very excited for these matchups coming up. Blue Box chapter 249, we see each other every morning. Penultimate chapter. And honestly, I'm not gonna say this was like mediocre or anything. It was just kind of like, yeah, it was a chapter. I don't have a whole lot to say about it. And I think that's fine, because I have had a lot to say about the last chapters, so it's fine to just have something like this. This is really just kind of, let's check in on the characters, let's see what's going on. We get to touch on a lot of the side cast. Hina and Yusa primarily, with this interview that the two of them have for winning nationals, and I think that's a really nice moment. I enjoyed that. And then we just get this cool like scrapbook thing of the gang hanging out, and that's wonderful. I really love that. And we just end on this nice group photo of all of them together, and graduation's today. That'll be next week for us, but it's today for him. So yeah, that's that. I don't really have a lot to say about this chapter, unfortunately. It was really sweet, and I love seeing this, but it didn't really like hit me the way I wanted it to, I guess. I don't know, it's hard to explain, because the last few chapters have been hitting me like a truck, but this one, I don't know. It just kind of felt nice. It didn't really make me sad or anything. It was just like, yeah, it's cool to see them hanging out. And it was mostly, again, focused on Hina and Yusa. It's interesting to focus so much on them in the penultimate chapter, but it's fine. I don't know. They were major parts of the story. It is what it is. And we've had plenty of Taiki and Shinatsu lately, so I get it. It's fine. We can have some time with other characters. Need more Kyo and Ayame, though. What the hell? We've barely gotten any of them. We got one more chapter left. What's gonna happen? I need to see them. I'm sure we will. We'll probably have like a time skip next chapter. Yeah, I don't know. I can't help but feel like a little bummed out about this chapter, because I went into this being like, oh my god, this is gonna be my easy chapter of the week. This is gonna make me sob. But I don't know, it just didn't really hit all that much. I feel like next chapter will, like, for sure. And a lot of this might also have to do with the fact that I've just been so prepared for this series to end that it's hitting less. But I mean, on the other end of that same coin, I keep flipping myself over here, but this doesn't really feel like a like one of the final chapters of a series to me. I don't know, just it's a weird one. I'm not saying it's bad or anything like that. I think it's a totally fine chapter. Just didn't hit as much as I wanted it to. Oh well, that's fine. I probably won't ever think about the fact that I felt this way about this chapter ever again after next chapter. I know that the last chapter will be perfect. It just has to be. There's no way it won't be. 1 week left. Let's see what it's got. It's really about to be over, man. End of an era. Akane-banashi Chapter 213, God of Death, Inner. Oh, so cool. So cool. I love just, I feel like I say the same damn thing every week, but I cannot get over how well Kaisei is being handled as of late. It's just unbelievable what they've managed to do with this character in such a relatively short amount of time. I mean, we've had this character around for a very, very, very long time, but I don't think anything to this level, obviously, has been done with him. And to have him move to the next step on like the character development ladder right before our eyes is just insane. And to see it done with such care, it hits. And it's making it all the more effective in the context of like a competition, you know, between our main character and him, because we are literally being endeared to him in real time. And having Akane perform first was so smart from a writing perspective, because this, like, in some ways, it almost like makes you kind of forget about Akane's performance. Similar to the audience, we haven't gotten a lot of like audience insight this time around, which is, I think, very much intentional. But I have to imagine, based on the, you know, the page we got of like Akane's vision of the God of Death fading from the audience, that is sort of happening to the crowd. Like, he's overwriting her performance because his performance is so strong. And it's just so crazy how this series is able to do that, where like the audience in universe and the audience reading the manga are basically in sync. It's so impressive. They just know. They know exactly what they're putting out into the world and how people are going to react to it. So masterfully done. I love this chapter, and I love Kaisei. I feel like I say the same thing every week, but it's just true. He is such a good character, and he's grown on me immensely these past few months. What a cool concept to tell this story, and what an amazing idea for a character to tell the story, you know? It's so good. What a series. What a moment. Love this. Great chapter, as always. Class 2B Hero Destroyerz Chapter 11, Apple times 5 minus 3 plus 2 minus 4 equals Dragon Fruit. These chapter titles are going to get so insane as the series progresses. I know it. It's going to be like a whole formula on my screen that I'm going to have to somehow read. This was a very good chapter. It really just solidified the concept of the series to me, and I feel like it's really getting settled in, and I am so on board. It locked itself into my mind as what it is trying to be. I finally get it. We're doing a full like reverse RPG where we are playing as the bad guys, seeing them defeat the heroes as they come. That's so cool how the concept of this world is like, yeah, there's a bunch of heroes out there just doing like hero journeys, doing like smashing pots, breaking barrels. I love the whole bit about like some of them are really insane and they just say like yes or no as the only words they speak. Just funny, like JRPG humor, classic. So we're basically doing like a tower defense game within this school. We gotta stop heroes from coming up into the castle by laying out this maze with traps and monsters and whatever. What a fun idea, dude. I can't imagine the entire series will be like this. It's probably just like a single arc of this. Maybe? I don't know. I really don't know what to expect from this series. It could take us on a wild ride. I'm ready for it though. Every week this series has been slowly unveiling more and more of itself to the point where here I feel like this is the birth of the series, the birth of the Hero Destroyerz, in fact, as is literally said. Title drop, 11 chapters in, which is very refreshing to see. I'm so glad we get like a differently paced series in this magazine for once, because it's not desperately trying to stay in the magazine. This one will definitely be a hit. It's not going anywhere anytime soon, and I'm so excited to have it in the lineup. It's just so fun, and having it like fully unveil itself now, I think, it just makes me even more excited. This is so fun. I can't wait for more.
Ridge Racer! Remember that one?
Hal Formula Chapter 4, Steering the Wheel. Really cool chapter. This reminded me so much of the Green Green Greens chapter where they play, I think they're actually, in my mind they play mini golf, but I think they actually were just practicing putting like indoors in the, you know, like the Top Golf place. This reminds me so much of that, how it's like just a very simple, like, you know, practice game type thing, but they're able to apply their real world driving philosophies to it. And the concept of this new character is really interesting, how he's like a more by the books. And seeing how Miharu is like a gambler in his eyes. He's just playing with fate. He's getting by solely by being risky and gambling his life. It pisses him off. He literally says, like, he just has to beat this guy because their views on racing are so fundamentally different. And on the other hand, we got Miharu just slowly, well, honestly, very quickly sinking further into that new role he's taken on of just this life or death racer. He's just gambling with his life, and having Kyogoku as his mentor on that. It's fun to view this as more of like a serious way, because it is kind of fucked up. Like, you got Kyogoku being like, yeah, dude, just go put your life on the line. Like, stand on razor's edge and you'll win. You're just like me, bro. It reads like peer pressure kind of, but at the same time, it is good advice. It's just a very different style, and it's easy to see where this other guy, I don't have his name down, where this other guy is coming from right now, because yeah, it is insane. It almost feels like cheating in a weird way, because you just have such little care for your life that you're willing to do more like bold plays. And it's not that Miharu doesn't care, I don't think, about his life. I just think he's kind of like, he's on like a high right now, because he won, and he's just, it's not even chasing the high, he just is on it. Like, he is just high on this shit right now, and who knows how long it'll last. Probably until, whatever happened with Kyogoku, because he doesn't race anymore. He's retired, as far as I know. So maybe something happened with him, and maybe something will happen with Miharu to snap him out of it. I don't know, because I don't think Kyogoku was ever snapped out of it, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because he's just, egging on the next generation for it. Very interesting stuff in this chapter. A lot to be, learned from just this racing simulation game. Cool stuff. Me and Roboco Chapter 288, Mixer and Roboco. This was actually a really funny one. My favorite moment is right here at the beginning, this page flip of like, yeah, all right, let's do a Mixer. That sounds fun. Flip the page, and it's all these schmucks. And she literally just says the worst possible lineup. That really got me. That was really funny. And then just the ensuing hilarity of all of these losers trying to make this an enjoyable time. The dog guy is... I work as a dog, he says. That's awesome. I love that. This is really good bits all around throughout this chapter. I found myself laughing a lot, like a lot more than usual with Roboco. It's just genuinely really funny. Most of which involving the dog guy. The part where I overused my power, and she's just like, he has a power? Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, valid question. What the hell was his power? Oh, that shit got me. This is a good one. I had a lot of fun with it. I just love this cast of characters. Second year is always fun to be around, but Dog Guy has really gone up on my character ranking. I think this is one of the best characters in the series, low-key. Really good one.
Baby, I'm playing on you tonight.
Animal Signal Chapter 5, Rabbits can leap almost 6 meters far. Wow. This was a fun one. A lot better than last week. We have the proper introduction of Rabbit Girl. We have like a whole chapter about her. Didn't catch her name, again. Can I find it anywhere here? No, I don't know what it is. Sorry. But she was cute. I like the beginning part where it's like, oh, she's gonna act upon her instincts as a rabbit. I'm sure everybody thinks the same thing, because everybody knows the same fact about rabbits, about how they just pump out babies like crazy. And same with Kokone here, has the same thought. But then it ends up being a subversion of expectations in a pretty fun way. And she's actually like a powerhouse, a fighter of the group, which is a fun little play on the trope, I suppose. Yeah, good one all around. Not a whole lot more to say about it beyond that, but this is just a fun new character that I think is a nice addition to the cast, and I think my prediction about her being wildly popular will remain true. She just has the qualities of a popular character in the making. Very fun.
He did the Monster Mash.
Roku's House of Oddities, Chapter 13, Akari Family Outing. This was a lovely one. Definitely taking more of a backseat on the comedy side, and more so going for just wholesome. There is still funny moments, like all the new outfits and Johan just attracting women with his new outfit. I love the bit of him just being like the hottest guy in the world to everybody who sees him. It's very funny. Our resident big dog, as he's known in the streets, just wearing a shirt that says dog with a bone on it. That goes hard. Can't deny it. And yeah, after that, just some cute stuff with Ultra and the rest of the crew hanging out in a big park. and about to enter a quiz competition, which sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, just continuing to enjoy this cast of characters. I love getting to see them all together going out, which is nice after all like the solo outing chapters. It's cool to see them all come together. I think I even literally said this is probably what was coming next. It only makes sense. Really nice chapter. I really enjoyed this one. And again, this series just keeps getting better in my eyes. It's really, I mean, except for a few duds, I guess, but it's bound to happen with a series like this. No gag manga is perfect. There's always going to be duds. But I like that this series also has a balance of comedy and like sweet, sincere moments. It makes it more enjoyable and more fresh every week to have a cool mix of the two genres. Much like Witch Watch. Again, this is definitely looking to be like the Witch Watch replacement since Witch Watch is nearing its end. Great chapter. One of my favorites so far. Akane-banashi Chapter 3, The Master's Power. Guys, I think this series has what it takes. This feels good. I'm feeling really good about this one. And even in a different way than Alien Headbutt. So because it's a different feeling from Alien Headbutt, that means this will survive, right? That's how that works. 100%. I like how they hit this big kaiju robot with like basically a special beam cannon or Makanko Sapo. And I still don't have the master's name down. They literally just call him master all the time. I know somebody pointed out his name in the comments last week. I forgot. I don't care. He's master, whatever. Whenever the series decides to start saying his name, maybe I'll remember it then, but it's just not happening. He's just master. That's the only thing he is ever referred to as, ever. But I really like his reactions throughout the chapter. He's continuing to be a very endearing character. Is growing on me. He was kind of previously not much of a character at all, but he's cool, I guess. I like how he's smart enough to pick up on the fact that, you know, his master is not giving him the whole truth about his own abilities. Like he can kind of tell that something's up. All the interactions with the king here are really great. Just further driving the stake down about, you know, the personality of the master character. Now he's really just a good guy. Like genuinely, he's just a very, very sweet and nice man. That's pretty much his whole shtick. And it's lovely. A little bit of intrigue at the end about setting up a level 3 regolith fight. On paper, that's not the most exciting thing in the world given how early we are, and that basically means nothing. But I feel like we're going to start to unravel the larger plot of the story, having these demons involved now too. Very interesting, and I also like that the master gets to point out the fact that this is moving very fast. It's definitely like a kind of wink wink nudge nudge at the reader too, because the series is moving quite fast, but it also feels natural in a way, so it's not that distracting. It's very much a modern shonen pacing, as opposed to what I've been talking about with Hero Destroyerz. But you know, it works as well as it can. Good stuff. I am really hopeful for the future of this one. Hope it doesn't let me down like many others in the past.
Get this man a gun.
Sakamoto, today's chapter 266, No Limit. Gaku is here, as well as Nagumo at the end, but first, I really like how Gaku shows up, and it's just, like, on sight, Sakamoto kicks him in the head. Like, there's no team fight happening here. It's just adding more people to, like, a big group fight, which is very fun. I really like this. It makes it more unpredictable, like how this is gonna go, and then adding Nagumo in the mix, who was advertised at first to be Takamura, which is interesting. I don't fully understand what that's about. I don't recall there ever being any kind of connection between Nagumo and Takamura like that. Maybe I'm missing something or forgetting something, but that's interesting. I guess Nagumo has somehow like mastered his sword style is what I'm assuming. I don't know. It's just funny to me that like ever since Takamura died, he really hasn't died, because any chance given, this character will be drawn again, and some character, I mean usually Uzuki obviously, but in this case now Nagumo has to channel Takamura as well because Uzuki can't anymore. It's just funny how this character can never die. Everybody's just trying to chase after the aura that man had, and nobody's really matching it. Nagumo is the closest. Easily. Pretty cool. I just don't really understand what's happening with that whole thing. I don't know if I'm forgetting something. Somebody in the comments let me know if I am. But cool chapter. Yeah, I'm excited to see like a big group fight. No alliances other than Nagumo and Sakamoto. Obviously, they're gonna team up, I think. I guess you never know. Maybe they'll start kicking the shit out of each other too. Anything could happen at this point.
Feel the power of my future.
The Elusive Samurai Present Day. A one-shot that is definitely being released to promote the anime, the second anime season that's coming out in the next few weeks. I really have nothing to say about this. As long as it has like no substance. It's basically like the epilogue to Demon Slayer with even less substance. There's just like nothing here. It's just like, look guys, it's all the characters in the modern day. Isn't that crazy? Wow. That's it. Like it just does the whole same old shticks, but instead of feudal era Japan, it's modern day high school. Like it's kind of funny to see some of these things, and I guess the Takeuji stuff is kind of cool. Like I thought that was interesting to some degree, but I still wouldn't say this is anything substantial or really even worth making or reading. Like if I were to ever recommend this series to somebody, which I'm not even sure I would ever do, and they'd be like, oh, I see there's like a bonus chapter after the final chapter. Should I check that one out? Is it worth it? I'd probably say no, because I don't know what you would gain from reading this. It's nothing really. Yeah, truthfully, I don't know. I don't know what the point of this is. It doesn't really feel like anything. I don't know. Interesting. For as honestly pretty good as the ending of the actual series was, this is just another Elusive Samurai chapter that is not very entertaining. This is like an extended version of a Elusive Samurai chapter that I would have said was dog shit back when I was covering it. And it's not dog shit. It's just, again, it's just nothing. Like this is just a whole nothing one shot. I gained nothing from it, and the most I got out of it was like maybe a smile or two, or just like a little head nod, like, oh look, I see you, I get it. I don't know, man. That's what it is. Thanks for coming back one more time, I guess. I feel like this is just something that Jump asked him to do, and he was like, oh, I don't really have any ideas. I guess I'll just do this shit. And this is what we got. Well, that's that. I was kind of hoping this would be more interesting than it was, given that, I mean, it's the return of a series that ended and I haven't been covering, obviously, because there is nothing to cover. But instead, I just have nothing to say about this. It's like 40-page long chapter. Fantastic. Gotta love it. Classic Elusive Samurai. It's like it never left. Hunter x Hunter, chapter 412. Question. Yeah, I got a lot of those. This is interesting. This changes a lot, and I don't even know how yet. That's the weird thing about this reveal. So Kurapika was not lying about the Wobble part, at least. We still don't really have much said about the other things he said, but Wobble is in fact not Wobble. The Wobble on the ship is a cousin of Wobble, I guess. Again, we just don't really know what this changes, because we have a figurehead in place of the real prince entered into the succession contest. Is that even like allowed? Does the Nen know? And is the real Wobble on the boat and still eligible for the throne? Probably, that would be my guess. I feel like the real Wobble kind of has to be in the succession contest as well, but because nobody knows that Wobble is Wobble, it doesn't really matter. Unless this Wobble, the male Wobble, is entered in the succession contest, but that, I guess it has to be possible, given the fact that we know Beyond's kid is one of the princes. So yeah, I guess as long as it makes it past, like, you know, the people putting the succession contest together, then yeah, they can make it in. The Nen doesn't really care, I suppose. But then, I have so many questions that I'll have to get into the weeds on in the podcast, which, check it out, the Hunter Association podcast. Go check it out if you want to hear me talk about this for like 2 hours. Please. It's a fun time. You'll like it. I promise. Beyond that crazy reveal, we also have this fun moment that I wanted to touch base on a little, about how Shimano's name is actually Shimanu, which is very interesting because this is something I noted on my recent reread that I actually just finished. She has been called Shimanu a few times throughout the course of this arc, and I thought it was just like a typo or something, but no, it just, that's her name. It's Shimanu. But Kurapika's been saying it wrong this whole time, and I love his funny faces reacting to this information. This is a side of Kurapika we have not seen at all in this arc, and it's nice to know that fun Kurapika is still in there somewhere. So the face Oito was making at the end of last chapter makes a lot more sense now. She is stressed out of her mind about this. This is a lot of information coming to light that she did not want to come to light, but it's probably for the best. Only other thing to note about this chapter is the fact that we now know who Beyond was trying to meet with, and it was Cleopatra. which is not the most exciting person in the world to meet up with, but their conversation did actually end up being pretty interesting and very insightful to what Beyond is like as a person. We're getting to know a lot more about him unexpectedly, even though I and many others before the last batch didn't even really think that he would have any sort of presence in this arc until we hit the Dark Continent. But he's moving up the ladder. He's definitely got his grubby mitts all throughout the Succession contest. So I'm very excited to see what comes of this. It's also cool to see Cleopatra again. It's a character that was introduced a while back, but really hasn't done anything since then. So cool that she was not forgotten. Didn't think she would be. Yeah, really interesting chapter. A lot of implications about this to come from this that I can't even begin to wrap my head around, but maybe I'll be able to unravel it in the podcast. Go check out the podcast, Hunter Association Podcast. Check it out, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube for the video version. We got a guest on this week, the Hunter Society. Witch Watch Chapter 253, Bone Crisis Part 22. This was awesome, dude. This is everything I wanted out of this big monster dragon Kanshi fight. It's insane, and I love it. I just love how the whole deck of the boat is on fire. Shit is going crazy on this place. And Kanshi's just, you know, holding strong, applying his past experiences, and putting up one hell of a fight with Bond. This was so rad. I love that panel, or the page of him flying up with the umbrella through the fire and delivering the final blow. That is so sick. I love this fight. This was probably my favorite, maybe if not just definitely my favorite fight. Oh no, Wolf. Sorry, that's the best one. But second favorite fight in this arc so far. Such a cool moment for Kanshi. I love to see him, you know, being taken seriously and still getting a few little quips in there every once in a while, because it's Kanshi. You gotta. Awesome stuff. I loved this. Really good way to, you know, put an end cap on the character, sorta. I feel like we're getting more of him, you know, in the coming chapters. But for like his solo team fight, which is what these all have been, very good stuff. Loved it. Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi Chapter 99, Newborn Cross Paladin. Almost at the big 100. I can't wait to see what we got cooking for chapter 100. I think I have an idea based on this ending, but that's exciting. Very cool chapter. I kind of figured, but Utsugi was sort of just testing Kiyoshi. At least he says he was. In actuality, he really did mean it, but he just kind of changed his mind after seeing him fight and, you know, having him prove himself or whatever. So that's interesting, an interesting insight into this character, that it wasn't just a test, it was real, but he turned it into a test. Love the big spread of all the cross paladins. They look sick together. Love all their designs. The big tall square guy definitely stands out quite a bit, but I still like him. He's very unique for that group. And now this end stuff, he was about to get like his Zanpakuto toe basically, but it ain't in there. He's got to go to his grandma, which is fun. I'm wondering what this is all about. It'll be interesting to learn a little bit more about his lineage. I don't really think we knew much of anything about that until now, if I recall correctly. I could be forgetting. Details are hard to keep track of for a series I've only read through once, but I'm at least pretty confident we have not heard of this grandma before, but even that I'm not too sure about. Either way, this is looking to be very exciting. I'm curious to see what this weapon he ends up getting is, and what is to be revealed with his grandmother, Misogi Harai. Great stuff. Shinobi Undercover Chapter 88, Hibari's Path to Victory. Really good chapter. I'm really enjoying what we're doing right now. So we have this like fun comedic side of the story happening with this competition between Hibari and Aoi, which I am just loving. It's so funny how effortlessly Aoi is just destroying Hibari. But then we kind of take like a semi-serious step back and move into this new plot line here with Kijibato, who's X Squad 1. It's not like super deadly serious. This is definitely more of like a training arc setup rather than like a serious thing, but it's cool how we're blending slice of life and action more seamlessly. We're not getting like the dedicated slice of life arc that I was wanting, but if we're going to combine the action with the slice of life, this is probably the best way to do it. Do like a training arc. So far, I mean, we're very early on in this, but this is kind of reminding me of the school festival arc from My Hero Academia, where it's primarily a school festival. It's fun stuff with one side of the cast, and then another side of the cast, well, actually only Deku, is dealing with something more serious. And even then, it's not that serious. It's just like a petty thief, but it ends up being like kind of emotional and very sweet. I love that part of the story. Here, it's not like a split cast thing happening, but there is like two intersecting plot lines happening that go hand in hand. This is cool. This is a lot of fun. I'm really excited to see how this plays out. I hope we don't just completely abandon the slice of life part of this arc, though. I do have that fear in my heart. I guess we'll find out.
What are you doing, step bro?
Nue's Exorcist Chapter 152, 3 Captains. This might be the first Nue chapter that I have literally nothing to say about. I got nothing. I'm sitting here with no thoughts on my mind. I pretty much predicted it last week. I said, like, yeah, I don't give a shit about these characters, and I don't think I ever will, but at least maybe we'll get some cool action out of it. And we got that. Like, it was at least nice to look at. There was some cool action here, but I'm left with absolutely nothing to say. I don't care about these characters. I don't really care about what they're doing, but I could at least admire the pretty pictures. Good job on that, I guess, Nue. You drew some good drawings. We gotta celebrate the small victories where we get them. Drawn to the Fire, Chapter 12. Fireflies are born from rotten grass. Just like Nue's Exorcist this week, I also really don't have anything to say about this one. This is pretty much purely like a setup chapter for the next game. We only get like a half a second of the game that they're about to play. I mean, they make a cool first play. They get the first basket, which is nice. That's pretty sick to see. That final spread, I don't know what you'd call this really, just a big long page with a bunch of panels. Oda-esque. It looked cool. It's interesting paneling. Not Oda-esque. I like all the beams of light coming out of the ball. It's fun. But yeah, not a whole lot to say about it. It's really just like, yeah, we are about to do a game and here's the first play. That's the whole chapter for you. Again, as usual, some good character interactions along the way, some good shit talking. Well, like one instance of good shit talking, but that's good enough for me. It's fun. Every time I see it in the series. That's the one thing that I really have managed to latch on with this series is the shit talk. It's really endearing to me just to see these kids completely shit talking each other. I don't know. It's not something you see a whole lot. Well, no, you do. I guess it's just the design contrast, in my opinion. Like the fact that the main character looks so wimpy, but he's got one hell of a mouth on him. A lot of people are saying the series is cooked. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I could see it, but we'll see. It's getting a color page next week. That's something. Might give it a little bump.
Doctor, doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of...
Underdoctor Chapter 23, Stun Gun to the Head. I mean, like, what is the point of this? Just another perfect example of this series being completely aimless. I just don't understand what the series is trying to do. Why are we spending a whole chapter on this woman who fell in love with Haiji and just gets rejected and in the end anyway? What is the point of this chapter? It just feels so pointless. I don't understand this series. And I feel like that's why it's getting such weird TOC placements, because I feel like people are latching on to the idea of this series, but it's just not gripping people. It doesn't know what it wants to be. Sometimes it's trying to tell a story, other times it's being episodic. It's so all over the place. I just don't understand what this is. This chapter did absolutely nothing for me, and these are usually the chapters I enjoy more often than not, but this one was nothing. And the characters didn't either. I feel like nothing changed as a result of this. It was just pointless. I don't know. Like, what are we doing here? It's so strange. This is such a weird series, man. I don't understand. I just don't get it. It's driving me nuts. I want to understand this series, but it's making it impossible. And again, yeah, it's like bottom of the TOC, right above Kinato. What's going on? Is it axed? I don't think so. It sold well. What is this? I just don't understand. Nothing about this series makes sense. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I don't know, guys. As usual, tell me in the comments what I'm missing. What are the deeper thematics that I'm just not picking up on here? Kinato's Magic Chapter 22, Connected Power. As far as Kinato's magic goes, I suppose this wasn't too bad. I kind of had fun with it. I mean, it's a decent little action chapter. Some cool paneling and a nice double page spread that I really liked, actually, of like them dancing through all these laser beams or whatever. That's fun. It's a neat idea. It does end, of course, with fan service. That's just like the new norm of the series. Anytime Kinato lands like a decisive blow on a woman or heals them or does anything of note to a woman, this happens. This is just what the series is now, I guess. But honestly, pretty good action chapter. As I said, I kind of enjoyed this one. I am still not on board with the series by any means, but I can at least admit that this was fun to read. You know, it looked nice. It flowed well. Yeah, it's just not a lot under the hood as per usual. And it's consistently bottom of the TOC every week, so I can't imagine it surviving beyond the next wave. We gotta get a new series wave within the next few months. And I mean, we do have some series naturally ending, so there's that. I mean, we'll have Sakamoto is ending soon. Blue Box is ending literally next week. Probably Witch Watch within the next few months, I'd have to imagine. We're getting pretty close, so they are at 2, I believe. But axes are going to happen. There's never going to be like a all survivor wave. I mean, it does happen, actually. I don't know why I said that never happens, but this ain't going to be the one. There's just no way. They're going to cut at least one of the 3. It's probably going to be this one. It's very unpredictable right now. They're kind of experimenting a bit, I think, with their lineup, which I'm all for. Why not? Let some series stick around longer. Even if I'm not the biggest fan of them, I have to admit I'm just happy to see that they are giving series more time to breathe. I wish they gave the same treatment to Alien Headbutt, which was just nominated for an award, by the way. What the fuck? I don't know. Anyway, whatever. This was an okay chapter. I didn't really mind it. Alright guys, that's going to do it for our Weekly Shonen Jump 2026, issue number 32. This was a pretty good issue, pretty, I think a standard issue of Shonen Jump, nothing too crazy this week. But, as always, one chapter, of course, did stand out amongst the rest. And this week, my chapter of the week goes to Akane-banashi Chapter 213, God of Death. Winning again, it's just at the top of the pack right now. It's firing on all cylinders. It's in its flow state. It's just killing it. So I can't help but give it up once again. Loving what's happening with Kaisei. I love this performance. Love everything about it. Everything I say I love about Akane-banashi every week, that applies to this week as well. It's just another really, really good chapter, and I think it's far and away the best thing in the magazine this week. This was a pretty easy win for me, because truthfully not a lot in this issue really reached that upper echelon for me, but this was in it. It's pretty much the only thing that I thought reached it this week. So congrats, as always. Hoping Hunter x Hunter gets a win during its time in the magazine, this batch. We'll see. It's got tough competition, man. I love Hunter x Hunter to death, but there's some really good things in this magazine right now. Speaking of good things on the magazine, next week, One Piece takes the cover. Always nice to see a One Piece cover. It hasn't been that long since we've seen one, actually. So, I mean, cool to see another one, I suppose. And Blue Box will be ending next week. Everybody brace for impact. I think we all know a chapter of the week will be next week, unless it really flubs the ending or some other series has like a jaw-droppingly good chapter. But come on, it's the ending of one of my favorite series in the magazine right now. Even though this last chapter was just kind of whatever, I know the ending will land, and I am just bracing for impact. Oh, it's going to be so surreal to not have this to talk about every week. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. It'll be probably a pretty long segment next week, so buckle up for that. Get ready, guys. All right, and that's all I got for this week. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment with your thoughts on this issue. Let me know your chapter of the week, your least favorite chapter of the week, or anything else you'd like to tell me about from this issue. Remember, you can also become a channel member at 3 tiers. You can click the join button to see what tier works best for you. You get things like early access to new videos, emotes, exclusive monthly videos, your name in the credits, and if you join at the highest tier, you'll get your name read out loud right now. So thank you to DJ Tengen, Milu Kitty, Braden Farrell, Halfpipe, Rafker, The Cosmic 64, Cosmic, Key to the Skies, Iliadis, Noobs Rock, Dan, The World's Worst, Menacing Pigeon, I Am Alive, I Think, Papa Aeon, and also BNE, a longtime member who just decided to upgrade to Super Nice Prisoner. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for your support, and thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in whatever you decide to watch next. Thank you, guys.